afternoon, little human beings. How are you doing? I hope you're wonderful. Hope you're having a great time. Hope you're covered in cheese. That's what I like. Humans covered in cheese. I sometimes wonder whether or not the mouth problem is that for some reason either A, my mouth doesn't get big enough, or B, my sensor isn't calibrated well enough. So we're going to already start off with a complete tangent, which is me going into here, clicking on some little buttons to see if they make anything better. Right? We go to the little camera part. Yeah. Bigger. That's nice. I actually think one of the problems that I probably have, which is a completely different problem. No. Is where's my VTuber model? There it is. Where am I? I'm here. Let's make me a little bit. Yeah, because I think I've been checking when I look into. Also, I'm disappearing off the side. I don't want to do that. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's more like it. That's better. I still need to get some kind of pillow to sit on. Oh, and I've not hit transition. There we go. I was noticing on the screens that I was a bit fuzzy around the edges, so let's see if I can get that looking a little better. But also, yeah, my mouth. Mouthy, mouth. There you go. I bet you enjoyed that, didn't you? Oh, so much fun. So exciting. Well, now almost my mouth. Yeah, there. Well, that looks like it's better calibrated, doesn't it? I think so. Yeah. Okay. We'll see. We'll see how that looks when I watch back later on today. Yeah. Close this now. Shoo you. You are unnecessary to his current adventure. It's Saturday, the best day, the greatest day of them all. You don't have any work, unless you're lucky, and there's no work tomorrow. Yesterday, double whammy of disappointment, triple whammy if you include the fact that I had to work. So work was terrible, as always. I mean, not terrible, I don't hate my job. Pretending to be human is, a thing that we do. But got a letter from the tax man, which is always miserable. Not because it said anything difficult or it's bad. It's just that always it puts your brain into the space where money and fines and all the terrible evil thing that HMRC might do to you kind of suddenly come to the fore. So that sucked. And then I got this. So I got my werewolf, and I'll show this to you because I'm excited but also slightly sad. Today, of course, is Delta Green, so I've not forgotten. We might just talk about this book. Ta-da! Isn't it beautiful? Isn't it like, oh, look at it. It's nice, it's big, it's chunky, proper book. It's got a ribbon. I'd have preferred it to have like 2 or 3 ribbons, but slimes can't be choosers. But, unfortunately, as beautiful as it is, look at this. Can you see? It arrived well scuffed. Look at that. Look at that. And that. See, I could live with this and not complain because it's sad and it's upsetting. But this won't fundamentally damage the integrity of the book. This, on the other hand, this A, it's hideous. B, this is gonna work. I'm gonna have to do like cover it up with masking tape or something to stop it from just ripping all the way down, and then the whole thing will all come off. So that was upsetting. So like triple whammy of misery, right? First whammy, work. Second whammy, the goddamn tax man. I'm not good with documentation, apart from at work, ironically enough. hold on. Am I making noise? Yes, I am. Good, good. I was worried there for a second. I was like, none of my little things are moving when I'm speaking. Have I just been silent for all this time? But no, they're good. What I don't have is the Foundry sound coming out of the system. Come now, Foundry sound. It's sending sound from main BGM. Is that a problem? I started reading an article on the internet about. There we go. That was indeed the problem. So that's really So I sent an email complaining. We'll see what comes of that. But otherwise, beautiful book. Now another thing that I really like, right, is this has got like thick paper, right? Probably listen to it. Ooh, listen to that. So it's like not glossy, which I really like. I think one of the first books that I came across that had opted to use like a thicker paper stock was where is it? Yeah, the OSE books, right? So the OSE books use like a thicker paper as opposed to a glossy paper, whereas I think the vampire book, which we can check right here because you know I keep all my currently in progress books kind of easy to access. Let's pull this out. Because I think this one, yeah, this has glossy paper stock, right? Still quite thick, so I mean, still good. I like it. It's good paper stock. It's not like for Dungeons and Dragons, Wizards of the Coast, recent books, right? But it's still glossy, but it's good book. This though, let's check because I can't remember. So the player's guide. So yeah, the player's guide is also kind of glossy paper, right? I don't know whether or not it was a stylistic choice to go for the not shiny, smoothie, or not, but I like it. It's good. I approve of the denser feeling, rougher stock. So just put that there. Big old books. So I like the paper. As you already know, I'm pretty sure I've gushed about the book. I think it's really cool. So another thing that I like a lot, well, a proper binding as well, as opposed to just being glued on. So that's cool. Very nice. I really like the paper. Texture, good stuff. The other thing that I like about this over, say, Good Ribbon, even if there is only one, is there's a lot more kind of drawn stuff, unlike with the vampire book, which is there's a lot of photography in it, which is fine, but not my thing really. I prefer nice bits of drawing. Clearly there's like a very distinct set of stylistic choices that are different between the vampire book and the werewolf book. And if it weren't for that damaged spine, I would be a very happy slime. But the spine is damaged, so you know it is what it is. But lots of good stuff. Would recommend. I think this was damaged in transit. Looking at the box, because the box has like some comparable dents in it, but the box is like way too big. But they also used a rubbish delivery company in the UK, which I don't trust as far as I could comfortably spit a dead rat. So yeah, happy-ish. Would be happier if it wasn't damaged. Would be a lot happier if it wasn't damaged. So, if I could get a replacement book, cool. If not, I will have to come up with some way of fixing this. But we'll see. We'll see. Oh, the other book that I got but I didn't show off, of course, is this one. So I got this the other day, which is the Shackleton Expanse Campaign Guide. Oh, yeah. So this is an interesting kind of book because it's got that dense paper stock at the front, but then it goes into like standard. This, I'd say it's somewhere. It's not quite as good quality, I think, as the maybe it's about the same as the Vampire Masquerade book, but it's pretty. I don't know if I'll ever run it, but you know, it's pretty. I think it's interesting that the main campaign in the book is this. I feel is kind of one of the problems for some of their books is that they're trying to cover both of the main eras. So they're trying to cover original Trek era and the TNG DS9 post DS9 world. And I think that probably makes it hard for their campaign design. So this campaign bounces between TNG-ish era and definitely starts off in original Trek, but I haven't finished reading it. But it's cool, it's fun, it's exciting. I think it's interesting. I like that we've got a big old space to explore, and this one didn't come damaged, so you know, props for that. Spines all in one piece. Doesn't have a ribbon in it though, so you know, can't have everything. Anyway, with all that out of the way, let's think about the future. Let's think about the here and now. Let's think about everybody being happy and smiley. And let me drink some tea. Gagging for a good tea. Not had any tea today. It's my first tea of the day, so I'm liking it. We don't need to camo. We won't need this. Well, so again, for main assets, we're using one page engine and the Solo Investigator's Handbook. We'll keep on going, see how we feel about them. And yeah, let's go to the main screen. Game capture, not game capture. Chrome. There we go. Cool. Better? No. Better? Almost. There we go. That's better. Here a bit. Yeah, that's better. And I definitely think that the little bit of modification to my calibration seems to have made my mouth work a little bit better. So that's good. A slime with a no working mouth is a bad sign. So, where were we? We were not Raymond's Cell. That's a different game. I've got two games going on inside of the same area. So this is actually part of a Cthulhu hack adventure. This map. We don't need it, so let's make it disappear. That one. Clear bounding tiles. Clear all bounding tiles. I think what I was talking the other day about how share media works, and that was part of it. Solo, yeah. Philip Butler, yeah. Am I missing some bits of paper? I think I am. I am missing. Get all this nonsense out of the way. I am missing. Oh, that's not it. Where is it? Where did I put it? Somewhere safe, I expect. Is that it? I don't know, we'll see. Sorry, Traipsing. No, that's last week's adventure that I ran with my chummer. That's not it, that's from a while ago. Is it in this pile and I'm just being silly? It's possible. No. All that is whatchamacallit material. Yes, whatchamacallit material. Oh, is that then? A lot of places where I keep lots of different bits of paper. This is it, yeah. I really only need these two. That's the urban shadow, but I keep on putting off. And yesterday I was supposed to, as noted, right? So I was supposed to do Cyberpunk yesterday, but the triple whammy, really the double whammy, because I hadn't noticed the damage to the werewolf book by that point. But the taxman had definitely upset me. But in retrospect, I definitely think that I should have streamed. I think sometimes I should just, if I'm doing a game or something, or any of that noise, I could just stream it. Because before I couldn't, because my computer was a bit rubbish. Ooh, cover my face a little bit and I'd disappear. But, yeah. What's going on? One of my friends is at a anime event, and he's having all kinds of fun. By fun, I mean no fun at all. He's not having any fun. He's saying he's having fun, but he's like an old man at what is, I am afraid to say, a young person's game. That was an interesting face I made. That's funny. Funny face. Right, cool. So, enough of this silliness. Philip Butler. Did I have notes in Obsidian or all my notes in here? I think I had my notes in Obsidian. I'm starting, so I've got a folder with all of my go live information for the stuff I put into YouTube, right? And I'm thinking maybe I should break it into weeks, because at the moment it's broken into months and it gets a bit overflowing. But July 98. Okay, I don't have a specific date on here, but cool. This means I need obsidian capture, and we need that one, and we can make it visible. Hey. And I wasn't sure if this was very visible the other day. I think it's probably less visible now than it was. Let me just quickly have a look to see what this actually looks like on the internet. YouTube.com Delta Green. Visible the other day. And less visible. Doesn't look great. Let's see. Set color, transform, blending mode, subtract. Oh no, that's definitely not great. Blending mode. Add.
Set color, transform, blending.
Let's see what happens in a moment. Peak viewers number 1. Here we go.
Oh,
Oh yeah, see, look at that. I can see it happening on the screen.
Add. Let's see what happens in a moment.
And that looks much the same as the other one. The screen, but.
Here we go. Oh yeah, see, look at that. I can see it happening on the screen.
Darken. Oh no. No.
And that looks
No,
much the
no,
same as the other
Oh,
one.
blending mode. If I go to blending
Screen,
mode, screen, and I go blending mode, set color, clear. What's that do? Oh no, I just changed the color in here, which is probably a good idea. Probably a good idea.
Blending mode. Screen. I go blending mode. Set color. Clear. I just changed the colour in
Blending.
Which is probably a good idea. Probably a good idea.
No, that doesn't really help. Well, I mean, for this one, I suppose it doesn't. There's not much going on the screen. I think you don't have many pictures, so maybe if we just use it on normal anyway and just leave it like so.
I mean, for this one, I suppose it doesn't.
And I think that'll do.
There's not much
So,
going on.
right, let me close.
I think.
Let me give myself a little. I like this. Yeah. I wonder why it thinks that I'm playing Stellaris. I'm definitely not playing Stellaris. Definitely not playing Stellaris. This is. I wish that it didn't try and auto guess the game that you're playing. That would be nice.
I like this.
But hey ho.
I wonder why it thinks that I'm playing Stellaris. I'm definitely not playing Stellaris.
So yeah, right. Okay, right. Let's close my little window, and let's get back to Delta Green. Delta Green. So, notable characters. We have Nancy Jones, who was Reginald Harris's mistress. We have Davin Smith, who is Reginald Harris's PA. We have Reginald Harris, who is dead now, who murdered Reginald Harris's family. I don't have Reginald Harris's family on this list. I should have Reginald Harris's family on this list. 9. Reginald Harris's family. Just sneezed. Sorry. You didn't need to hear that. You'd be deaf. Dead. I'm gonna sneeze again. Oh dear. That was a big old sneeze. I think I might have a third sneeze coming. See, 3 sneezes is just showing off. Yep. Goodness me. Any more? No, good. Right. So then we got Reginald Harris, who is a conservative politician who killed his family in a ritualistic manner. We've then got Henry Wellington, who is our assistant, right? He's a rugby boy. We have Sally Wiseman, who is a local journalist, works for the local newspaper, like the Lake District Times or something. Lake District Herald. The Cumbria Herald. There you go. In fact, as soon as I've got the Cumbria Herald. The Cumbria Local Herald. We don't have like a national herald, so. We have the culprits. We have Brigadier Archibald Wallace, who is part of the conspiracy, so he's a weird old former military officer who that's weird. I don't know what's going on. Betty Harris, who's the sister of Reginald Harris, she was in a care home. I wonder why only one of my eyes is working again. Maybe it's because when I'm looking up at the screen to see what's going on, the camera doesn't pick me up properly. So she kind of implied that there is some greater mystery going on. Reginald Harris's dead family, so his wife and 2 children. Butler's dreams are now haunted by a rhythmic chanting in an unknown tongue. When he awakens, he can remember the words vividly, even though he's got no idea what they mean. Lost some sanity and gained some mythos points for that. Morning of the 8th of July. Matey Boy made some Reginald Harris had made some unusual outbound calls. They were to the Archibald Wallace. We visited Wallace's premises. Wallace had Harris's agenda book, which we took a peek in. Because remember, so Harris had taken his book, his agenda, back off of Davin Smith. So why did Archibald have it? So on the 8th, we also found out about the sister. So we met Betty Harris, who used some of the words that were in Butler's dream, and emphasises that Reginald was part of the family, a willing part of the family. Butler now thinks Reginald is part of a broader conspiracy. We get another mythos point, because originally we thought that he wasn't. Butler goes to check on the public records of the Harris family. The records are lost. An abandoned village since the First World War. The village Ranadell. Stanley also spoke to Wallace and discovered something new. We don't know what that was, so that's an interesting thing. We just know that it's mundane. So where's the deck of cards? That's not the deck of cards I'm looking for. That's the red deck of cards. Here's the blue deck of cards. Another thing that I want to do at some point is do some Operation White Box, but this is a bonus. So I spent all day today, but all morning, sticking together British servicemen for bolt action, and yeah, I can use those figures for OWB. Okay, what have we got here? A 10 of diamonds. So diamonds are technical, and a 10 is they use T instead of another 10. Specialized. Oh, topic focus 10T. A plot arc. Let's pull out another one. 7 of spades. Spades are mystical, although this is supposedly mundane. So she's found something mundane relating to a plot arc, which is mystical creation and an ace of spades, physical. Unique. Something unique. Well, that makes sense. I think something just came through my post box, so give me 1 second. Nope, I was imagining things. This kind of thing happens. It's very warm. I'll tell you that much. Let's turn my fan back on. If you can hear fan noises. So she discovered something about a new plot arc, which is mystical creation to create something unique, right? So she's discovered a mundane. Right, okay. So she discovered mundane information about a new plot arc, which is that was my door. Oh, sorry about that. That was my door that time. I presume what I heard was them knocking next door. So anyway, continue this. She's discovered mundane information about a new plot arc, which is because it's create and something unique, to summon a so what a deep ones summon for deep ones summoning so yeah, it's going to be to summon an ancient evil, or an ancient entity. However, she's just she uncovered the location of an abandoned church in an abandoned village called Reginald. Now this makes me interested. Lake District sunk village. How's water, right? Mardale village. So Mardale village is a real village, but it is underwater in a reservoir. Now, isn't that interesting? This is underwater. Can you see that? I don't think you can you? Where's my little notes? Here we go. Little notes for you and me. So what's going on in Reginald? So this is so we've, have I noted down plot arcs? No, I've only got the NPC. So if we go threads, can you see what I'm doing? No, we go threads. There we go. Threads. We've got the murders, current murders, and we've got yeah, this is fine. Sometimes we just drive the players to where they need to be in order for the adventure to happen. Though this does mean that I might have to pull out a book and find some stat blocks. Current murders. So Renadale Village is probably more of an NPC. Renadale Village. And so is now, I think, Mardale is, I feel, an NPC as well. A character, really. Mardale Village. The Sunk One. The Sunk One. The Abandoned One. Yep. Cool. Cool. It's exciting. Very exciting. Right, and that's kind of a setup. When what's the time in the game? What's the date? The date's still wrong, right? Uh-oh. Make it small again. The date in the little machine is 4th of September, whereas we want it to be not the 4th of September. We want to go back years. So we're in 98, right? Funnily enough, just a couple of clicks away from where I was. Almost as if I'm a lazy slime, which I am. Oh, and it's for night of a full moon. So I'm pretty sure we were on the 8th before, right? Either way, it's where we are now. So if we make this the current date, what we're also going to have to do is close that. Close that. Go here. This one? Yeah. We need to go here, here. Change this to Cumbria. Yeah. Just turn it to day for a moment. Right. And we probably arrive. So we were going to go here. Oh, wait a minute. Actually, we don't have the dates, but we do. Evening of the 8th. So we're going to go here on the morning of the 9th, right? Morning of the 9th. Well, the question is, do we? That's the question. So, let's ask the Oracle. I find Chaos Rank a bit of an interesting one in Mythic. As to when you put it up and put it down. Because it's like, when things are going against you, put it up. When things are going well, take it down. There are some other options. But then I tend to find, well, I can never remember which way around I'm supposed to ask questions. The more exciting thing should be the affirmative. Once again. Again, for some reason, Saturday mornings, runny nose, all blocked up. It's a hard life being a slime. It's kind of a shame it doesn't have OPE in here, because that would make my life a bit simpler. But it doesn't. GMA. Maybe I could use maybe I could use That's interesting. If we go to... No, just stick to one tool for the start. Right? We can start playing on new tools later on. So, roll 1d6. We got a 6, so it's yes. I don't know what I was asking. The question, of course, is, and it would probably have been unlikely, would be, does Butler go to check on the village immediately, or does he wait until the morning? Does he go to check the village immediately? Answer 6, yes. So, we've gone to the village. Maybe, let's have a look. Mythic tables, Mythic GME tools. Okay. Interesting. Mythic deck tables. If we go... Oh, there's a Mythic GMA Cyberpunk deck. Do I own that? I wonder. I'll have to check. That might be new. But I'm pretty sure I own this. Import entry. Oh, that's a table. Oh. I don't think I need the tables. I need... yeah. I need the... Where'd it go? Macros. Right? GME macros? Deck macro. Deck macro. This is what I need. I don't need that. I need this. I need to import weird horror and just flat horror. Right. And I'm pretty sure I moaned about this before. You used to just be able to drag and drop these from there, but now you can't. You've got to come here. Annoying. There. Close. Let's see if I click on this if it gives me anything interesting. Oh my word! We're starting off good. Okay. Most importantly, laughing dead babies, a face peering in the window, barbs catching your clothing, burning garbage. Belongings, hobby gear, taxidermist tools, ship and a bottle kit. Interesting. Catalyst times. Well, so that's not really relevant, maybe. Location, prison. Name, path, left hook, vice, offhand. Well, I think the most interesting thing here of these. Go check my... No, I don't need to check anything. Oh, well, my goodness, I don't actually have any of the books open. So, there are obviously some basic things in this abandoned village, right? So there's the remains of a small parish church, a small schoolhouse, a small graveyard, a number of small cottages, small miners' cottages, the abandoned mine. Yeah. 5. Anything else? No, that'll be in the church. Small parish church, small schoolhouse, small graveyard, a number of small miners' cottages, the abandoned mine, and of course the lake, the reservoir, a small fishing pier, here on the reservoir. Okay, one. Just so we've got some little locations dotted about for if anything happens, right? If audience had any recommendations, we'd chuck them in now. Don't all shout at once. Did I ever note that I have that I set about setting up OSE stat blocks? Of course, the Windows on the wrong side for you to see this. Hold on, if I'm booking it here for a second. No. Ah, goodness. No, it's all gone wrong. I've ruined everything. I need split to the right. Like so. Yes. For my obsidian. Anyway. Very nice. I did this. I made this. So if anyone does is doing such things, I can always give you this, but we'll talk about that another day. Probably when we're talking about Castle Caldwell. July 98. Right. The area is heavily overgrown, abandoned stonework. Stonework is scattered across the landscape. You can't see this. I'm writing all this down, but you can't see because I am a bad human being. Let's put some additional returns in here so it's easier to bring this up. Okay, so well, we probably make a beeline for the parish church, as that's where the parish records would likely have been kept at the time. So upon arriving, the church is clear. I mean, the burn damage is quite clear, and Sally is here poking her nose about. Matey boy isn't with us, so Henry isn't with us. So that's important to remember. So current actors on the scene. Butler and Sally. Right. Simple question, I suppose. So there's of course a small exchange. What on earth are you doing here? And she's like, well, I'm following up a lead. And he's like, what lead? And she's like, well, when I was talking to, I can't release my sources. And she's like, I'm here on official police business now. What are you doing here? And basically she says, well, she was after a reasonably odd conversation with Archibald, she had gone. She saw pictures of this parish church in Archibald's room, in his study, and she did some research, and so she's here. And Butler is like, well, I was researching the family, and that's led me here as well. So the church is clearly burnt. The question is, are the characters attacked? I think this is 50-50. One. So no, they're not attacked. Not whilst they're up here looking at the records. So now let's also roll on the solo investigator, because you know it's getting dark, right? So I've actually got this set up to be the wrong day. So it should actually be still the 8th, just for night thereof. Set it to be then, and we set this back to being hourly, and then we will change the time. 5 hours. Yeah, that's good. So 7 o'clock. Start that little clock ticking. It's quite warm. Gentle breeze, 17 degrees. High, 8 degrees low. Sounds about right. So we're not attacked. This is good. Let's roll on. We're not generating a scenario. We're not doing this. We're not doing that. Journaling. Yeah, don't talk to me about journaling. I'm no good at it. Okay, so this is where we are. Sorry, you can't see this, of course. I'm just flicking through the pages of the engine. So, story direction. We're in either development, discovery, or danger, as far as I'm concerned, or dice roll. So, if we roll downtime, I'll re-roll it, right? And we add our mythos score to it. So our mythos points are 4, so we add 4 to this roll. So R1D100. 79 plus 4, 83. So that means dice roll. So this is randomness edition. Roll a D100. We get a 16. You hear something. A poetry auditory effect table. What have we heard whilst we stood here in the dark? Well, in the dusk, even. Auditory. That's clue table. Spooky table. Auditory effects table. Let's roll a D100. 95. Crying right in our ear. Well, and this goes to 95. Do we add? Then you may make a Q&A roll. To determine. Roll twice, once for effect and once for location. Well, I guess it doesn't say add my mythos value, so I'm not going to add my mythos value. So we hear 95, which is rumbling, right? And now we roll again to where we hear it from. 10. In the wall. Okay. Should make a note of that. We hear rumbling within a wall of the church. So we've been walking through this church. It's for night. So both Butler and Sally have come with a torch because, of course, it's dusk. So you know they're keeping an eye out. So we hear rumbling within a wall. So of course we head over and investigate the wall. Now we've got search. So Philip Butler, roll search. 58. Cool. Right. So guess our question is guess our question is, what is this because we can find the source. We have found the source of the rumbling because Butler has succeeded in his search roll. So what do we find? I guess we'll take 3 cards and see what they are. We get the 8 of diamond, the 8 of hearts, the 2 of diamonds, and the 3 of diamonds. So an 8 of hearts. So hearts is social. Diamonds are technical. So 2 seek small current need. 3 oppose large allies. 8 is reveal complex knowledge. Okay. So if we take the 8 as a reveal, and we take the 2 as current need, and we take the 3 as allies. But it doesn't necessarily have to be about our allies, right? It could be about their allies. So, social to technical. Technical, I reckon, is going to be a book, right? An ancient book hidden behind this rumbling wall. And the book itself is clearly ancient. Why is it in the wall? If it was part of well, clearly, why is it rumbling? That's interesting. Why would it rumble? Why would the wall rumble if this was in because I mean, the book making the wall rumble doesn't make a huge amount of sense. Because whoever's responsible for what's going on will have come back and collected this earlier. So maybe it's not a book. So if we look at those questions again, these options again, so we reveal, which I think is 8 knowledge, 2 seek, 3 allies, large, oppose. Okay, oppose. Yeah, oppose current needs and knowledge. So, in fact, what this rumbling could be is a defense system that's protecting some knowledge. So the question then is, what does it do? What do we think it would do? What would you do? One of those ones where you're always like, you got a bag of... Oh, well, let's have a look over here. Face peering out a window, barbs, catch your glowing, burning, garbage, evil, artistic. What happens if we just do the horror deck? What's in here? Belongings, catalyst, laboratory, sloth, mercy, Damocles, Gwendolyn, Roscoe, grey names. I'm on for all of those. All of them. Okay, so for wall rumbles, let's put these to one side for a moment. So wall rumbles, catching Butler's and Butler's and Sally's attention. Heading over, the wall. It's almost as if there's like an earthquake, but there clearly isn't an earthquake because they're in Cumbria, and there's no drilling going on or anything like that. So they have a little search, and upon searching, they discover a trapdoor, right, into the lower vaults of the church. Right? Sounds good. So they open it up. Well, I mean, it's kind of weird, so I'm going to say there's an extra mythos point here for the weirdness. We're still in the evening of the 8th as well. Evening of the 8th. And mythos points are at 5. So we head down into the depths of the church. And hopefully, because hopefully we'll find some records down here. And it's down one flight of stairs, and then it takes us onto a reasonably small stone, very damp room. Probably some kind of contemplation place for the whoever was here. So I think again I need another roll on the mythos tables. Not the is anything going to happen that's interesting table. Let's roll a d100. 65. So that's 70. So this is danger table. Danger table. What's on the danger table? 19 plus 5. 24. You feel a threatening presence. It is a tangle, a spirit, or something malevolent nearby. Use the verb table to add more detail. Okay. Use the verb table to add more detail. Where be the verb table? Where are you hiding? Here. This is a D1000 table. No, it's a D500 table. D500. 233. Faint. It's very unexciting. 93. 93. Challenge. This, I often feel, is kind of a problem with verb tables. 25. I kind of think that they need to be smaller. Arouse. No, those are all useless. All useless words. Never consult a verb table. It's my advice. Ignore verb tables. They're no use. None whatsoever. These are now all upside down. Don't be upside down. You can't see. Don't consult verb tables. Verb tables aren't very useful. Unless you're looking at something like this, right? So, the threatening presence, I think we're laughing dead babies in from behind the still rumbling walls down here. It's probably pretty weird. Do you hear that? I do. He looks around again. Is there a secret passage in this room leading into the mines? 50-50. I'm asking a ref here. 5. There are. Okay, well, let's see if we can find it. Search. 77. Critical success. He finds it. So behind he finds the right brick and he pushes it and it opens up a secret entrance. Now this is very elaborate, he says. There's strange runes carved around this area. And in fact, I think upon deeper inspection he can see strange runes kind of decorating the whole room, which he thinks is a bit peculiar, given this is supposed to have been a church. And she's taking photographs, and he's looking disapprovingly at her. And she's like, "What?" And he's like, nothing," he says. And they head, "Shall we go?" And she nods, and so they head deeper into the warren, beneath the old town of Ranadal. Let's move time forward a little bit because it's been some time. 30 minutes? 40 minutes. Okay, so we're deeper into the complex now. Question: are the cults currently down here in the complex performing a ritual? 50-50. No. Are we even dealing with cultists? 50-50. No. But we are dealing with a conspiracy. They're just not cultists. Well, that means maybe they are some kind of offspring of some ancient entity. Are they related to an ancient entity? 50-50. Yes. Cool. So we're dealing with like a bloodline of deep ones, right? Okay. General information. We are dealing with the descendants of an ancient, monstrous bloodline. Okay, cool. That's a thing to bear in mind. And I need to be RB, so I am going to leave you for a moment. Just a moment. Just 1 or 2 moments. And I'll be right back. Okay, bye. And I'm back. Let's get you back into the frame. Hello. Still here? Yes, of course you are. You're all still here, and you're all still having lots of fun, chilling on a Saturday afternoon, or morning, or evening, or whatever else you like. It's all cool. It's all good. Okay, so we're travelling deeper into this warren of caves. So I feel a auditory event is required. What's the auditory event going to be? Oh, locations. Not what we're after. Is this it? No. Auditory. There it is. Right. Roll a D. Roll a D. 100. I'm going to sneeze. I sneezed. Roll. 81. So that is slippery slopping. Ten in a wall. No, not in a wall again. I hate when I get doubles. 22. From, well, it can't be from outside. We're in a cave network. Roll again. 2. Under the floor or ground. That doesn't make any sense. Roll again. 55. 55. Inside an object. It also doesn't make any sense. 77. From the next room. We're not really in rooms, but we'll just say it's from up ahead. What was it again? Slippery slopping. Okay. Here's a wandering there. So no barbs. It's very dark as well. It's something to bear in mind. Shuffle. Oh, weird horror deck again. Okay, so we head into the next. So it's kind of slippery slopping. So we head forward, because I mean, why would we assume it was anything other than just like some rats or something? And you could clearly see that probably one of the reasons why we closed the mine is that the reservoir water table is meaning there's water kind of entering into the mine, right? And so parts of it are flooded. So the question is this visual effect table? Maybe roll on a visual effect table. There you go. Let's give that one a go. What's on a visual effect table? Roll. 51. What have you got? 51. Blood seeping from the walls. Okay. Well, that's strange. So we head into this room and there's a slippery slopping sound. And we kind of do the torch thing around, right? Holding it up high. I mean, like, what on earth is going on? What? It's probably quite difficult to tell the walls covered in blood when you're in a mine, because most of the walls are probably kind of dark coloured and muddy. So he touches it and he rubs it between his fingers. He's like, strange. And he gives it a little sniff. And he like looks around. He's like, well, this is odd. And Sally looks at him and goes, what do you mean odd? He goes, well, I don't want to sound odd here, but unless I'm completely insane, just give this wall a feel and a little rub and a look, and tell me whether or not what you see is kind of a reddish liquid which is kind of viscous, he says. And she looks at him. Just do it. And she does, and she looks at it, and she goes, this wall is definitely covered in something that is red and viscous. And he's like, I thought it was. And he at least I'm not going entirely insane, he says. And Mythos. This will give us an extra Mythos point. 0.6. But then also, I think it's strange enough to warrant a sanity roll. I think it'll only be like a one pointer if it's failed. It's succeeded though, so that's fine. They carry on? This is no, of course they carry on. It's running up to the end of the episode, so they carry on heading in. And let's roll a d100. Let's see what we get on the magic table. 76 even. So what's 76 got us? 76 is a danger. And everyone roll on the table to get a general idea of what threatens you. Move to the verb table. As we all know, I don't believe in verb tables. 37, so plus 6, 43. Some sort of bizarre affliction overtakes you. Okay. So as we're heading deeper down, the butler starts to sweat, right, and his face is feeling prickly, and he can feel the cold sweat running down his back, and the cave is unnaturally warm. Because I mean we're underground, and it's supposed to be quite cold underground, but the walls are lined with blood, and there's this sound of rumbling within the complex, and he's feeling dizzy, and he looks at Sally, and she's clearly looking quite ill as well. But they have to go on. They have to go on. So they head deeper into the complex. Question. 1d6. Are there guardians? 50-50. No. Cool. Right, probably I'm kind of reaching this point where I should probably have rolled that as likely, but I thought 50-50 was So there aren't any guardians. We don't need any guardians. The whole place is a guardian, right? As they head deeper in, what do they find? Let's ask for table. Horrible secrets. Alien geometry. As they continue to head into the darkness, the building starts. The mine. The unknowable, eldritch truth, horrible secrets, alien geometry. They continue to head deeper into the warm, moist, bleeding tunnels of the underground. Sounds echoing in the darkness, barely lit by their torches. The sweat pouring off of them, their faces prickly heat, a throbbing pain in their heads. Uncovered, disastrous estate. Those all right, okay. The noxious smell in the air. They can see these recurring runes and sigils, meaningless, scrawled in these wet, seeping, bloody walls of this cavern. Their speech slurred now when they try and talk to one another. I think kind of probably around this point, something needs to give, right? Something's got to give. Let's see what it is. Let's roll another. Let's roll another set. No, wrong dice. Let's roll the D100. 13. Well, that's the downtime action, so that doesn't make any sense. 5. 100. Okay, well that's the random roll table. And I'm going to take the random event table, I think. Random event. Oh, and we've got monster characteristic table. We're going to need that in a second, I think. Random event clues. Not clues. Visual effects. Rumor tables. Random event table. Let's roll. Plus Mythos points. Yeah, probably. 82. Plus 6. Probably plus 7, because I think we should probably get another one. So 82. That's still only 89. Overcome by terrifying thoughts, awful visions of eldritch creatures who you can barely stand to imagine. That's an interesting one. So I'm going to say. Oh right, I should probably put the walls. The walls of the mine are oozing with blood, covered in strange and unusual strange and alien scrawl. Scrawl. Vadipa. Fey. Go. Now. Feeling compelled. Compelled by some awful curiosity. Curiosity, or is it something more? Something more. The caves, the mine is warm, not cold, and getting warmer. Deeper we go, as if we are moving within the body of some vast, horrifying life creature. Our heads pound, and images of undescribable, ineffable, I think is the word, ineffable horrors. Ineffable. I think that's a word, right? I think that's one. Ineffable. Yeah, let me just double check that. Oh. Ineffable. I think that's one. Too great or extreme to be expressed or described in words. So, I'm going to say that's definitely a... Also, we're up to Mythos point 7. Mythos 7 from the Blood on the Walls. And we're up to Mythos 8, I think, from this now new... this new set of horrors that enter their minds. And I think we definitely need to make a sanity roll. So I feel this is a 1 pointer / 1d4. And with a 93, that's definitely a d4. Well, let me just hold on. Let's get the Delta Green book out. Delta Green. Delta Green. Delta Green. Agent's book. Delta Green. Delta Green. I was saying the other day that someone wanted me to do Call of Cthulhu, but then I realised that it was just me. But people want to see some stuff from the weird abyss of my drive-through RPG collection. So that'll be interesting. I'll have a look for that. Sanity? Sanity. That's what we're looking for. Threats to sanity. Kill an innocent in cold blood, even for a very good reason. No, we're not doing that. See or hear a bond gruesomely killed. No. Suffering violence, inflicting violence. The unnatural. I think it's funny that the unnatural has so little effect on characters. So an overly supernatural effect. Seeing a corpse walk. Witness. So I think this is one of the things about Delta Green is it's not really supposed to be about the eldritch horrors. It's supposed to be about people, and I am far more interested in the eldritch horrors because I'm sure I mentioned my view on this before. So yeah, anyway, yes. So I feel that the unnatural table in here is more geared to those elements than it is the elements that I'm particularly interested in. So I feel like also I think that character sanity is a bit more durable in this than it is in Call of Cthulhu, which I need to dig out, but I won't just yet. Let's roll. So I'm going 1d6. Roll. 6. Aha, this is interesting actually. So 6 would take from. So what's their breaking point? Their breaking point's 52. Okay. However, I think we're going to project onto a bond, right? So we're going to project onto the kids. So he's like, I've got to keep going for the kids. I've got to make sure these things doesn't happen because of the kids, right? So he's projecting onto that bond. So he reduces that by 3. So he only takes 3 of those. He sacrifices 3 willpower points. His sanity only goes down by 3, so it's at 58. But his bond with his children goes down to 11. Right? Sweet. And he's getting close to that break point. Right? I mean, his break point's pretty good because he is, after all, a detective of the grizzled kind. Only so grizzled you can be out in Cumbria, though. Mostly incidents including, the aforementioned farmhouse owner shooting family kind of routine is probably the general worst that he gets to see. It's still pretty bad. I should check the rulebook to see what the different signs indicate on these as well. Hold on. What are these? GMA, right? I think they're GMA. GMA? No. If I look for the horror, just in the name, this horror, micro horror. Game Master Apprentices, so weird horror. This is what I'm looking. I'm not really well. I'm looking for this one. Instructions. I think that's probably it. Alright, yeah, so here it's got a description of the glyphs. So if we look at this one here, right, this card, we've got this glyph. So this glyph is... I'm not reading the glyph right. Either that or... Oh, there it is. Reactionary, defensive destruction, instinct, willpower, regeneration, lightning, electricity. In-game, a powerful but protective force or character, lightning, electrocution, blah 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 blah. Right, so that's that. I mean, what's this? Don't know what that is. So then we got heart, which is friendship, moon, confusion or misunderstandings, sun, clarity or revelations, arrow. Arrow isn't on there. They might have got the thingy wrong. That might be a wand. And then the blop is water, intelligence, knowledge, or eloquence. There you go. Cool. I think these little things are very quite. Oh, of course, I've said all that, but because I'm such an idiot, I was talking about this sign is power. This is water. These are the other thingies. I wonder what those are. Oh, maybe those are just. Oh, right, okay, yeah. So 7 sensory snippets. Oh, right. So that's an ear, eye, feel, smell. That's what those are. That's cool. So yeah. What's that number? That difficulty generator, right? Yeah, likely odds. Yeah. Cool. And I kind of presume that these icons are the same across all instances, right? Okay, anyway. So we're heading down into the dark. And he has these terrifying flashbacks. Kind of feel like there needs to be a capstone event here. So the question is, is it a passive discovery? Ergo, is it going to just be a scene upon which we look, it's horrifying, we get a glimpse of a darker truth, right? Or is it going to be something active, which will be the opposite, right? So, is it going to be a passive thing, right? So I think this is 50-50. 4. Yes, it is. So this is going to be a grand kind of concluding scene that makes us realise that how small and insignificant we are. Oh, I picked a new one. So, what we see upon heading deeper in is this this kind of bizarre, mind-fuzzing, possibly mind something else starting with effing, room that I feel is ineffable. Its geometry is unknowable. There is something inside of it that is so mind warping that the Butler is unable to hold the image inside of his mind without losing his mind entirely. The same with Sally. The question here is, does Sally go mad? Does Sally lose control? Does Sally break? I think this is likely. No, she doesn't. Right, so she's fine. Well, fine, in inverted commas. She's probably projected onto a bond as well, right? She's like, things like this don't happen in the real world. And what they see really makes Butler realise that what has happened is that they are a failed branch of some ancient, unknowable species, some race from beyond the darkest stars, right? From when the world was new, before the world even existed, when it was all just darkness and chaos, and they were a failed line, and so as a great sacrifice to offer up to those who live beneath the waves and beyond the veil, he killed his family and eventually was compelled to kill himself in order to reintroduce the power that was wasted in them existing back into the whole. And when he committed the murder, in fact, there were a number of other kind of robed individuals there that took part in the body and the flesh of the event. Upon returning to town, they will discover that Butler's body has been signed over to the family. When asked, no one quite knows who or where, and when following it up, Butler is unable to find the body. And the church, he's unable to find the entrance into this cave network that he had previously found. And like I say here, it was probably one last sanity roll as he sits in his room, wondering about what on earth occurred. Yeah, he will give one last roll. Beep boop. I've mentioned this before. This keyboard has run out of batteries again. Absolute garbage. I hate this keyboard so much. I don't see. Stop the effect and turn my blasted lights back on. It's I don't understand why, you know, people nowadays can't just have like a written number on a key. It's like literally impossible for me to get a keyboard that meets all of my criteria that doesn't have silly flashing lights for a key light. I'm not 7. I don't need flashing lights anymore. Hate it. Annoys me no end. Particularly when it means that the keyboard's battery only lasts for a few days, a week at most. Anyway, that's enough of being annoyed about that. So yeah, in 44, he hasn't broken. Now, we need to also reducing that 6 meant because if he'd got 5, he'd have had a temporary what are they called? Affliction, and that would have been a problem. So home, what changed? So he's not going to fulfill a responsibility. If your agent has ordinary obligations and relationships, describe something. So the agent, of course, fills in. Not the agent. Butler, of course, fills in his necessary paperwork. They just sign it off as a murder suicide because, you know, that's all the evidence there is. And he, your agent can spend nights and weekends poring over an old operations evidence and case files. This reduces 1 bond by 1 as you let your responsibility lapse. The handler secretly rolls criminology or occult for your agent. Success means you uncover some pertinent clue of the handler's devising, an especially valuable one with a critical. Failure means you find nothing. Either way, your agent gains 1d6 minus 3 sanity. Okay, cool. So I think that's probably what he does, right? Because that's kind of the kind of person he is. Stay on the case. So, occult or what? Criminology. 66. Oh wow, that's a critical failure. It doesn't say anything. On failure, you find nothing. A fumble means you think you find a valuable clue, but it will turn out to be dangerously wrong. Okay, well that's probably so. We should probably make a note of that. Home. We stay on the case. Stay on the case. We think we found something, but it is dangerously wrong. And we only failed 1 roll, which is that roll. So we get to roll 1d4. 1d4. Well, 4. So our criminology is up to 54. Okay, cool. And that's that. That's the quiet, unassuming conclusion to our first case, which is case closed as murder-suicide. The bodies have disappeared. What? So questions post. What happened to the body? Bodies. Who has them? Next, another question is, oh, there we go. So what's happened to the bodies? Who has them? Another question is, what were the caves? And then, what were the caves? And what is the bloodline that the Butler, not the Butler family, the Harris family are part of? Who are the others involved, and what will they do next? Right, so these are all kind of questions that we're left over with. And yeah, cool, top bananas. That's as I feel most Mythos adventures should be. They come to a sudden, unsatisfying conclusion. As we discover that not all is as it seems, and there's nothing much we can do about it. So, that was interesting. I think there's one thing that I would do. There are a couple of things that I do differently, but I'm going to do differently next time. So one of the things is I'm going to roll up, where we set the adventure, I'm going to roll up a set of clues to be found, clues and rumours, and actually give us a bit more structure and make it flow a bit more. But other than that, I enjoy. I thought it was good. You know, it wasn't perfect, but it never will be, and I don't mind that. I'm not trying to make it perfect because, you know, it's just for our entertainment. Just pass a few days. So yeah, that was I feel quite successful, and yeah, I hope to find you back here in the future. I'm going to try and get all my pages right around now. 68, 57. These are all these are upside down. That way. Ah, see, now it makes far more sense. 26, 27. There we go. Right. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. Perfect. All put back together. Well, it's been a pleasure. So, another thing that I need to think about is if I just go to my drive-through RPG, some of the funny little weird games that I've got. So, stuff, if I get rid of the horror, even then just in horror, it's like there's a micro-horror RPG, Blood in the Roots, oh, that's a journaling game. I don't like journaling games. Stuff for people, yeah, there's Red Hack the other day. I've got a whole bunch of stuff from that Pocket Quest deal, so that would probably be a place to start. So yeah, I'll have a look. I'll pick one. We'll give it a little play. See what happens. There's a bunch of Dungeon World stuff, not Dungeon World, but PBTA stuff I'd like to do. So cool. Anyway, tomorrow will be Castle Caldwell, so we'll be doing some more old school Dungeons and Dragons-y stuff. So it'll actually be fun. And yeah, it's been a pleasure. It's been emotional, people. Hope you have a great day. And yeah, have fun. I'm gonna go now. Goodbye.